Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Welcome everybody to the Dukes of Gaming podcast. How is everybody doing today?
Good.
Good.
Peachy.
Good.
I'm cold. I'm cold, but I'm good. It's been a good week for me. I am the Duke of Procrastination, Thomas. Good to be here this week. Joining me is my fellow Dukes of Gaming. First off, we have the Duke of Nostalgia. How are you, Taylor?
I am doing great. I adopted a little cat. Her name's Juniper. I love her more than anything. That's how my week's been. So just getting used to her.
That's
You
heartwarming.
need to be careful. Kittens, they're cute, but once they turn fully cats, they're just plain evil. So watch your
I say
back.
kitten. She's just a small cat. She's 2 years old, but she's very small.
So she's already plotting your death. Got it.
But she'll figure it out.
I'll pray for you. It's
Angel
fine.
and a
Thank
demon
you.
at the same time. And of course, we have the Duke of Rocket League. How are you, Cole?
Good. I'm waiting on the snow, which is gonna not show up. It never does in Georgia, but I'm sure you guys will get enough in the Northeast for all of us.
Hopefully less than usual, but who knows? Of course, in the West, we have the Duke of Design. How are you, Ben?
Good, coming to you from the Old West. I was listening to old episodes or prior episodes of this podcast this past week, and on our New Year's episode, Thomas, you said that you were going to have an update to your Duke name, and then you never updated us. I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit.
Yeah, put him on the spot. Let's hear it.
Did you decide not to update it? If so, that's fine.
No,
If you want to update it, you got to do it.
I have made the decision. I've just been procrastinating.
Mhm.
So I am abandoning the Duke of Procrastination because I plan to not be as procrastinistic this year. So instead, this year, I'm going to be focused on a lot of anime. And so because of that, my new name is the Duke of Anime. So get used to it.
Here
There's going to be some warming up period. So if you all say procrastination on accident, it's all good. But just, kind of get used to it because that's the paradigm shift for this year.
Nice. Oh, well, okay. Well, a toast to the newly minted Duke of Anime. Hear
Hear
ye.
ye.
I don't have a glass, but
in spirit, it's all good.
I wasn't ready.
It's all good. Appreciate it.
The
Ben.
first Duke to change his name.
School.
Yeah,
School.
One of many, hopefully it kind of just shifts throughout throughout our time.
God, you know what? I would love. This reminds me. If we ever get big and can afford a set, I want it to be a big Viking dining hall. We're all sitting up there on the big table at the back. We got big grog filled steins. We just slam them down.
Yeah. At Christmas, we have these huge, massive trees with garland draped everywhere.
It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing.
Incredible.
What are
One
the
can
best
dream.
ones? If we
One
can
can
just get
dream.
it, what is it? An earl? The guy that decrees things? Is that what
Duke
It's
of
an
Earl?
earl. No, an earl makes you a duke.
Okay, well, we need one of those.
You talking about a sire?
We need a duke, or we need an earl, and we need a sire. We need the guy with the trumpet. The trumpet. He declares, "By decree, this is the new decree." That guy. I feel like I should know.
Yeah, I think that's an earl.
Alfredo, the chat says Alfredo should be the Duke of Kingdom Hearts, and I agree.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
are
definitely
you still
not
playing
Zelda.
Fire Emblem? Because that's where it came from.
Let's not talk about that. I will be soon, actually, because it will come up later today. So,
And of course,
talk
introducing last
town
but not least,
crier.
Alfredo.
Our chat has
Yes.
told us to town crier.
Town Crier, yes,
You're
that's what we
Town
need.
crier.
And hello, yes, I'm doing great. I saw the new Scream movie, my first Scream movie in the movie theaters. Oh my god, what an
Is it good?
experience!
I heard it was great.
It was great. I enjoyed it a
Wow.
lot.
Never seen
Fucking-
Scream.
I literally
Oh,
binge
man.
watched all of the Scream movies this Halloween. Never saw any of them until
They're like 5 of
2
them,
months
right?
there. Yeah, this is the 5th one.
Okay.
But yeah,
The first one was awesome.
very,
I've
very.
heard great things.
Honestly, probably the only franchise besides maybe Harry Potter where none of them have been bad. Like there's 5 of them, but none of them have been bad, which is a feat in and of itself, I feel
That's
like.
honestly a really true statement. There are no bad Harry Potter movies. There's some that are better than others,
Mhm.
but there are no
But you
bad
can't
ones.
none of them were train wrecks. Same for Scream.
So I remember the first Scream, everybody was shocked because everyone thought not Halle Berry, Drew Barrymore. Drew
Ah.
Barrymore was in the opening scene,
She was great.
and like everyone thought she was gonna be a main character of the movie, but they pulled like a Metal Gear Solid on the audience where like they killed her in the opening scene, and people are like, "What?"
Solid
The-
Berry.
Everybody's
Solid
mind was
Berry.
blown, and then that's when they showed the title card right after she dies, or after her parents find her, or whatever.
That's
It's
hilarious.
unbelievable.
That's
At the time, it was incredible.
Everyone sees Scream. Great movie
Yeah.
franchise.
Fair enough, fair enough. But let's get back to video games.
Gaming.
We're the Dukes of Gaming. Let's see. You know what, Alfredo? What have you been playing?
Oh, I was not prepared to go so fast.
I know that's what I called you.
Because I have a little prop that I'm trying to set up at the moment as well. So I've been playing a lot of different things because I've been dabbling with Xbox Cloud Gaming. So I've been playing that as well as the new Final Fantasy VII First Soldier mobile game. So it's been a lot of mobile gaming for me this week. And it's actually because I got for Christmas this thing, which is called a Razer Kishi, which is essentially a phone controller that you can just plug in your phone to and play anything you want in it using a controller instead of having to set up anything Bluetooth controller, any of that. Nope. Everything just is just right in the middle, super easy to play.
Nice.
So I've been kind of testing it out. So for Xbox Cloud Gaming, I think a couple months back, they finally launched it in beta for Android, which is what I have, and in iOS. So I ended up getting like a really, really old iPad in order to test it out because I wanted to play games on the go. And this was before I even had an Xbox Series S too. So I wanted to be able to play all of those games without having to open up my gaming PC, anything of that, like that. So got an iPad. It ran everything I tried ran horribly. The latency was so incredibly bad. I just was like, well, I guess this is a failed experiment. Xbox Cloud Gaming isn't ready. Either that or just my old iPad can't take it. Either way, I wasn't ready for it. So I was pretty much ready for that same experience with just my mobile phone and the Razer Kishi. But to my surprise, the latency is almost zero, honestly, with this with my mobile phone. My phone is a newer phone, so I'm not sure if that has to do with it. I'm sure it does a little bit, but for Xbox Cloud Gaming, just being able to stream various games on your phone and having it just work without you having to take up space, it's kind of a game changer because I have all these games on my Series X now or my Series S, and I can just play them on my phone. Lower fidelity, it definitely does not look as great, but it's pretty amazing because I can just take my phone out of my pocket, grab this controller thing and play all the games with very little latency. So I've been having a ball playing things like Streets of Rage 4, Dragon Quest, Battletoads, just random Xbox Game Pass games on my phone. But all that said, the first game that I tried when I first got this little controller was the new Final Fantasy Battle Royale game, which is called Final Fantasy VII First Soldier. So this came out in November, I believe, but I just started to try it. And the trailer first came out actually for during E3, all the way back in like June and July. And it looked good. I was surprised because I'm not a battle royale person, but I am a big time Final Fantasy person. So I was like, I'm definitely going to try this when it comes out. So with this controller, I hopped into it and it is so much fun. I do not like battle royales. I don't like Fortnite. I tried like the Harry Potter-ish one where you're like a sorcerer, but that one was pretty fun, but I didn't get too much into it. This one is all about Final Fantasy. So you have your chocobos, you have different classes. You can be a mage, you can be a ninja, you have just different special abilities related to those classes. And it just really gives you that Final Fantasy feel that just makes you want to play over and over and over again. So, especially with the controller, I'm really enjoying it. Without it, just on a mobile phone, I probably would not play it, but having the controller really does make a big difference to the point where I'm playing this game a lot. And I think anybody who likes battle royales should at least give it a shot. It's free, it's fun. I think it adds a little something new to battle royales, which is the class system that they have. So yeah, definitely check it out. I'm having
And-
a lot of fun with it.
And you said, and forgive me if I'm right, you said you could be a chocobo.
You can't be a chocobo. They have chocobos in it, so you can
Don't
summon
get the game.
chocobos.
Don't play the game until they allow you to play as a chocobo.
You can honestly you can't even you can put on the costumes if you want to be Cloud. You can put on that costume. I'm sure later on they'll have a chocobo outfit
Yeah,
that you can
it'll-
buy maybe, but you can summon different summons. You can be Ifrit. You can summon Shiva. You can do all that. You got materia. It's great.
I can't believe this is real. Like I had no idea this existed. I don't know how I missed this.
Yeah,
I've seen it on the
and
App
I'm looking
Store,
at
but I didn't
footage
know
of
what
this.
it was.
This is absurd. It's like a it's
yeah, I
ridiculous.
mean, yeah, it's ridiculous. But if you're a Final Fantasy fan, for sure, check
No,
it out. Or
it's
just a
cool.
battle royale fan. The only thing is like, I'm kind of mad it's only on mobile right now because I do want to play it on my big screen. I do want to play it on my 4K TV, on my PS5, and all of that because I think it would. It has potential to be big, but it's only available on mobile right now, and I really don't know, as far as battle royales, how many people want to play those on their mobile devices. So hopefully eventually there's rumors that they're talking about PC and console ports, but who knows when that'll come out.
Well, cool. Honestly, like, the cloud gaming to me has been kind of iffy because you can play stuff like Dragon Quest, you can play stuff like Streets of Rage, stuff that's like not super performance heavy. But once you like, I tried to play like Halo on it one day, just like maybe I can play a game, and I got massacred online. It was a shame. It was because it wasn't performing well. It was a lot of latency, so when it comes to those type of first person shooters, any type of shooter, any type of third person gameplay, it doesn't perform as well. But if you're playing like an RPG, if you're doing like something kind of slight, I think it's a great tool. I think it's really good.
Yeah,
I think it honestly is a little revolutionary.
Oh, for sure. I thought that Dragon Quest would be a good indicator because I was only playing indie games like Streets of Rage, Hades, stuff like that. And then I tried Dragon Age or Dragon Quest because it is, that's like at least a 30 gig game, I want to say.
Right.
So I thought it would be a pretty good indication. And it plays perfectly on my phone. There's, it, like I said before, it doesn't look great like it would on a console or anything like that. But like you said, I think it's pretty revolutionary, honestly.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, hopefully you continue to explore more cloud gaming because there's a lot of games on Game Pass to try. So,
yep.
All right, now let's move to Ben. What have you been playing this week?
It's weird because I've also been having an experience with game streaming this week. I've continued to play 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. I'm like 30 minutes away from the end. I'm so annoyed that I didn't finish it in time for this podcast. This game is really good. It's really, really good. And Thomas and Alfredo, you guys got to play this game for sure. Especially think of anime there.
I might play it this week.
Yeah, this is an interactive sci-fi anime for sure.
And it's tactical. This is a tactics game essentially, right?
I mean, so the game is part adventure game, part turn-based tactics. Yeah.
Okay.
Combat. But if you just want to focus on the story, you can crank it down to casual and play the battles all super easy. I ended up doing that just because I wanted to finish it quicker. And there's actually no trophy requirement to do it on the higher difficulties either.
Oh, great.
But not that I care about that because I'm not going to get any platinum this year, which I said last week. But
so you're basically going through these games and like purposefully leaving one trophy open.
there are very few games where you stumble over the platinum. Really, Telltale was like the only studio that did that with that made games that are worth playing. So anyway, so with 13 Sentinels, like I am about like 30 hours in, and there's so many twists and turns in this game. Like almost all of the characters are awesome and super likable, and you get a lot of time with them. And then when you've got like the battle chatter in between combat missions, and it's super engaging. My critiques of this game are like things that I think they could have done better to bolster the experience, but none of them really hamper it per se. They're just not. They could have been better. And one of those things is that I feel like they should have interspersed the battles within the gameplay. Like as it is right now, you basically choose when you want to do battles or choose when you want to go after story stuff. And I think they should have just intertwined it a little bit more. There are times when you can't continue a given character's story because you choose which character's story you want to pursue, and then you play that character story up to a point, and then it stops you from playing it anymore until you meet some requirement, like playing another character's story to a certain amount, or playing some of the battles and clearing a certain number of the battles, so that you're like never too far ahead with one character and like too far behind with everything else. It keeps everything sort of at the same general area.
It sounds very Persona.
It is
in the balancing of the the dungeons with the more social aspect.
Yeah, it's not. It's to describe it, I certainly see where the Persona comparison comes in, but it is so much less an RPG than Persona is, and those things, the battle system and the adventure game side of it they really feel separate in a way that Persona, they feel like they're one and the same thing.
Right.
So yeah, but I get that. And like the other thing is you're playing as each of the 13 characters when you're pursuing their stories. And they like the stories intertwine with one another, and like everything is all twisted and topsy-turvy, and it's like there's so many twists throughout the story it just keeps you guessing constantly. But yeah, so I wish they had like married the battle system with the more impactful and interesting story a little better. And then I also wish they do this thing where they kind of present like a decision tree every time you're in one of these story missions. It's like a decision tree that suggests like you can make choices that lead to certain outcomes, much like the way that they surface a decision tree in something like a Quantic Dream game, or in what is the name of the
Supermassive?
No, well, yeah, I think I'm specifically thinking of the decision tree. So like Virtue's Last Reward, what are those? Zero Escape games. Yeah, where like they're expecting you to like use the decision tree as a game mechanic, so that you like pursue different alleyways, like find all the different outcomes.
This game has that?
The presentation suggests that it has that, but I wouldn't really say that it does, because it most of the times these things still need to happen in a particular order.
Okay.
It just makes it seem like it's decision oriented.
Mm-hmm.
I think
so. It's kind of like Telltale, where they're like, your decisions matter. Wink, wink.
Except
they don't.
It's weirder because Telltale doesn't show you the decision tree.
Mm-hmm.
Telltale doesn't try to make that a mechanic, whereas 13 Sentinels does, and I think it suggests more than it's actually offering there, which was weird. I feel like they should have just not included the decision tree at all, and the game would have been better for it. But aside from that, like I said, the story is really interesting, and the characters are all good for the most part, and it's fun to see them interact. So yeah, if you're into anime, kaiju, robot stories, then definitely check it out. I'm sad I missed it when it came out, because it's definitely one of the more interesting games to come out in 2020. But yeah, that's what sorry, I didn't even tell you about the streaming aspect of it. So I've been playing this like almost exclusively on my phone, streaming it from my PS4.
Remote play.
And
Oh, cool.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
through remote play. There were a few games that I've done this with. I did this with the South Park game, Fractured Butthole, as well. Yes.
Greatest title ever.
And so I found that remote play works really well with kind of turn-based games and things that are nothing that is networked, nothing that is competitive, and nothing that is like requires any Twitch skill. Otherwise, it's like horrible to play remote play. But if it's something like 13 Sentinels or South Park where everything is turn-based, it is good. It's good. I mean, it just it pretty much just works the way it's supposed to. And even though there's a good bit of slowdown and occasional lag, and sometimes the game loses resolution, it's totally playable, and it's like much more convenient to just whip out my phone and connect real quick than have to dedicate some time to sit
For
in front
sure.
of the screen. So yeah, that's been my week.
Yeah, I literally have Streets of Rage on my PS4, but I'm like, I can just put it on. I can play it right now on a Switch handheld like console, so it's just so much easier, and it works.
I did the same thing with
So convenient.
to echo what you're saying. Final Fantasy 14. I played that on my Vita on remote play on PS4. I used to do that for Final
nice.
Fantasy 14, which that was nice when you're just grinding and going through little quests and stuff. It was perfect.
Nice. Well, good day. I mean, I plan on doing a lot more of that too, because getting through those RPGs probably does seem a lot more convenient on your phone. So yeah, good stuff. Good streaming. And of course, last but not least, 'cause me and Cole are going to skip our turns because we ain't playing anything this week. Taylor.
Curse you
Oh,
for
so it's me.
focusing on your real life.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But Taylor, what have you been playing this week?
I have joined the ranks. I'm the 4th out of 5 Dukes of Gaming to now play Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Welcome to hell.
Welcome
God,
to
I
hell.
guess I gotta play it.
Clap, clap, clap.
Literally.
Wait, now when you say 4 out of 5, everyone's played this but me now?
I think so.
No, I haven't.
Ben
played it.
hasn't played it.
Oh, I
played it. That's what I was thinking,
swore
yeah.
Ben played it. I'm sorry. Well,
Ben has not been to hell yet,
Never
no.
mind. There's no ranking. I like it. I like it a lot.
It's a vibe, right?
It is. It sure is a vibe. I put it on and I played it, and I'm like, for the first 5-10 minutes, I'm sitting there like, these assholes liked this game. What the hell? Like this is. I was genuinely like, oh, this is as boring as Pokemon. This is so fucking boring. And pretty like the game tricks you. It's a good
Subverts
little
your expectations,
it's
right?
a super good little trick. All like 10 minutes in, it's just poof, here you are. You're in the apocalypse. There's demons. I was just like a schoolboy 5 seconds ago. What the fuck? No, it's and then it just sort of takes off. It just takes off. That said, I will say there are some things about Pokemon this game has made me like more. I was playing this game and I all of a sudden thought there are some mechanics that Pokemon has implemented, because we've talked a lot about comparing like Pokemon to good RPGs, where I think Pokemon's simplified it in such a way that makes it better. For example, I kind of don't care about any of my little demons as of right now. There's not.
That's fair.
There's not really.
It doesn't really change for a long time.
Yeah.
There's not really a connection between me and them. It just sort of is. You need them to beat the game. You need them to play.
Yeah, sacrifice them. You know.
Yeah.
It's like
Use them
you don't form
normally.
attachment. They're demons. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
will
don't-
say
they don't give a
there's
fuck about
one-
you, and you don't give a fuck about them. You
There's
just-
one that I cared about. I was really sad when I had to sacrifice him.
He was 200 leveled.
Yeah, he was so good. Black Frost. I'll remember you. Anyway, continue.
Another thing is the level up system is wonky. It's a lot. There is a lot. At first I was a little overwhelmed. Like the first time I looked at it, I'm like, there's too many numbers on screen. There's too many level bars on screen. I'm like, this isn't exactly what I signed up for, but most of it doesn't matter, which is good. Most of it is just sort of like background noise. You can just press A and it'll take care of itself.
Mhm.
You can put a little bit of thought into it, sure, but it's not. You don't have to go all the way in with it to really get the most out of the game, I don't think, or at least I haven't so far. I've definitely put thought into it, but I don't think the average person would have to. Another thing is the map, Alfredo.
Uh-oh.
You're
Here it
sitting
comes.
there on your high horse, whinnying around like, oh, Metroid Dread has too confusing of a map. It's got too
It
much.
is.
It's got too many little icons on it. It's too small, and there's too many rooms, and you can't backtrack. I will cede the point that you can backtrack very effectively using these. Oh, and real quick, you can't save everywhere. Come on.
No.
It's
No,
a
this is the Dark
RPG.
Souls of RPGs, Clint.
What
You
is this?
can't just save
What is this?
anywhere.
1994?
Yes.
Come on.
Yes. You
right,
cannot
It
do
might
that.
as well be.
No. The first time I played this, the first time I turned this game on, I didn't save,
Ooh.
and then I died.
Ooh.
Big mistake.
And I was like, is it worth it? Is it? Because I thought it auto saved because it's fucking 2021.
It's a rite of passage for
Yeah.
Shin Megami Tensei games. It has to happen to you one time so you learn.
It happens to me multiple
It happened to
times,
me in Shin
honestly.
Megami Tensei 4.
Well, now I save every 5 seconds. Every time I collect an item, I run back and save.
Sometimes I
I'm
still
like-
don't, and I always get punished.
There always is a moment where I forget,
Mm-hmm.
and I've gotten like maybe 30 minutes in, and then I die, and I'm like, well, I'm not playing this for a week. Because
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
it's just that feeling of, damn, I wasted 30 whole minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. That seems a little unfun to me, but I digress because the game is still fun and compelling and engaging. So the map, Alfredo,
Map is
is way too much. There's too much shit going on it.
The map is good.
the map is fine. What's wrong with the map?
You know what though? I don't think you've unlocked everything you can do. I don't think because once you start really being, because I don't think have you unlocked the return pillar yet?
Yeah.
Not a clue what that
Oh,
is.
okay. Yeah, that'll help a lot.
That makes everything way easier. You're supposed to suffer right now, and then
Yes.
as you get better, you get items that make it easier.
Yes, it's the rite of
Yeah, yeah.
passage you walk
So,
through, and
Yeah,
once you
everybody
make
has
it
to
there,
go through it.
Yes.
It doesn't start off easy. That's the thing about the game. It doesn't start off easy. It gets easier.
Really?
Yeah.
Then it gets hard again.
does.
You know what I'm saying? But it's ebbs and flows. Like
I got it.
there
I
are
got to
moments where you
admit,
feel really strong and really dominant, and then the game like brings you back a peg. Like, no,
I already feel strong and dominant. I
Well,
don't
get
feel.
ready.
get ready.
And
Get ready to
get
get
ready.
stomped on.
Okay.
Unless you're grinding, unless you're like really like going throughout and like really,
I am grinding a bit, just because I like grind. Like I know that I need to grind. I like instinctively know that I need to grind.
Gotcha.
So I am grinding quite a bit at every opportunity I can. Because the map and because the AI is a little wonky, you never know when you're just gonna get ambushed by a demon.
That's part of the charm.
That's part of the charm. I sneak past a bunch of demons. I don't hear the noise, the little beep noise that says, "Oh, they've spotted you." I'll smash a treasure chest,
It
and then all of
shows
a
you on the map.
but there's so many things
They
to
could've
look
done
at. There's
There's not that many things.
I
Come
fin
on.
okay. So I finish a battle. And I know one demon has seen me, and I've just beat it in battle. I just turn around, and there's a demon right there, and it touches me, and I get blasted into battle, and I'm now 2-3 turns behind because it got the upper hand.
As soon as
Come
you're done with a battle, you gotta haul ass.
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
You
you
can't.
do.
Sometimes, like if you hit one demon, because in some RPGs, if you hit one demon, it will kind of
All
loop
of
them
them
all
will
into
go.
the battle. This
Mhm.
game doesn't do that. Or it's like you hit
But-
one demon, you fight, and then the other demon's still standing there.
Yes, but the game does, when you hit one demon and let's say there's 2, it will halt. Like it'll give you like a solid 3-second head start. Like the
Yeah.
demons will just stand there. They won't like keep rushing at
Yeah,
you
you
after you're
can-
done the battle. You can run away because they'll just stay there for like 3 seconds.
Except
Okay.
for those like semi-boss levels where you're at the fights those red things, Alfredo. like the things.
Oh yeah.
Like
I don't
those
think
are
you even reach that,
consistent.
have you?
Those will continually hit you. So yeah, you just gotta haul ass.
Okay.
Yeah, you just gotta run.
I will say, so I'm being a little down on the game because there's some tiny things that have irked me, but ultimately it's very cool. It's a very cool game.
You like the music?
I love the music. Although it is starting to get repetitive. It is starting to grind on me.
You got to get out the area you're in.
I gotta get the out. I realized that as soon as I got out of the city and I got into like the wide desert, I was like, okay, the music has changed a bit. The battle music changed. It's all unique music, but that's the same for any RPG. You play an RPG enough, the music just starts to grate on you. It's like, oh, every single time I enter a battle, it's it's come on. That gets on you, but ultimately it's a very cool game. The setting is incredible. The dialogue is written by a third grader who has dropped on his head too many times. The dialogue is stupid. Oh my god.
It's very anime. It gets very anime.
It's bad. No, but it's bad anime dialogue.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
It's not like prime anime dialogue. Right?
Yeah,
It's
at least with Pokemon, I know it was written by a 3-year-old who was dropped on his head. This one I assume was written by adults.
Fair. That's fair.
Fair enough.
But so I'm saying a lot of negative things, even though I really like the
I
game.
haven't heard a positive.
I'm saying a lot of really negative things. Another negative thing is I probably wouldn't play this game with my girlfriend in the room, or my parents, or anyone really.
Why? I don't.
Because
I'm trying to remember.
because
There are
like,
demons that are butt ass naked. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
that
50
is a
I don't
thing.
remember.
No,
any. I
'cause
don't
50
remember any.
There's
that
like
are.
5 or 6 demons that are just straight up.
50% of the demons are just women without their clothes on.
Like you,
Come on.
that one demon where his like horn is his like his.
Oh,
penis.
okay, yeah. I
like-
do.
Like
I
there
do
are a couple
remember.
demons where I'm like, okay, but the thing is, they're a persona too, so I kind of just
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, the first demon you meet in the game has its cock and balls just hanging around.
Yeah,
like a
Really?
Greek statue.
they're demons. What do you expect? They don't care.
But it's not. It wasn't even like hidden up. They didn't put a loincloth on it or anything. They're just like, yep, it just has a dick and balls just right there.
Some find it repulsing, some find it fan service. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I find it arousing, but that's just me. No,
Stop complaining about it.
I'm just saying I wouldn't
Not-
play.
this
Is that the
pro
one
of the game.
positive you have?
The one positive is the cock and balls. No, I the positives would be the speed at which you progress through the game is just immense. It's just it's the most well disguised linear game I've ever seen. It slams you in and you're just going in a straight line, but it makes you feel like you're taking you're splitting off and branching paths. It makes you feel like you're making choices without really making too many choices. It still streamlines you the direction you need to go, and I appreciate it for that. The combat.
Just
Say again?
wait till you get farther in the game. I'll be curious to what you and Thomas thinks about, I guess, the message of the game, because I'm like in the level 70s and it's bringing up some really, really interesting questions just about life and about gods in general. So I'll be excited to hear what you guys think about the storyline when you guys get farther in the game.
I mean, be fair, the only like knowledge I have about gods is Neil Gaiman's American Gods. So like, not my cup of tea, but I do really like the diversity of the demons and angels and everything. You've got Christian lore, you've got Aboriginal lore, you've got Native American, Indian, Japanese.
They have everything.
Everything. And
It's
I do
every
really
type
like
of
that.
like deity you can think of. Like,
I mean, that's super
That's
cool.
my favorite part of the game.
That's super cool. I like that a lot.
And they have demons with Dix's horns. So,
big
yeah,
old cock and balls.
good variety.
And then the other 50% of demons are women without clothes on. So that's cool. But the combat is, I think, easy. Really, really easy. What else do I like about this horribly cringy game? I
Everything.
like
It's
I
great.
you know what I do kind of like everything. Everything I've complained about right now, I do kind of like, and in a weird way. And I do think you're right. I do think the further out I get, the more, because it's one of those games that I'm just sitting down and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I lost 30 minutes of gameplay because I didn't save, but you know what? I think it was worth it. Let me do it again.
Yep.
So, I don't really have much more to say about it, other than,
You
I
say more than Metro Dread. Well said.
nope, wrong, not true, not
He's
true.
only
I'm
2
sorry.
hours in, so things can
true.
change.
Things can
Uh,
change.
No, oh, here's another thing that made me think about Pokemon is the graphics. Not great, not fantastic.
It's more art style than graphics. Like art style wise, it shits on Pokemon, but graphics wise, it's not the best performer in the world.
No, not at all.
It runs at sub 30. Like, it has a lot of frame rate drops. Like that's one thing I've always noticed about it. It's
Yeah.
not the best performing game
I
ever.
still, art style wise, art style can mean a bunch of different things. I still think one of the lasting appeals about Pokemon is the character designs. They are so well manufactured. Like, even though I don't spend the time I did when I was a kid learning all the Pokemon, I can probably identify it based on, like, if you give me a picture and a name, I could probably piece them together. Like, there's so much thought put into the design of Pokemon characters. I mean, because it's marketed so heavily,
Mhm.
like they need to put that design in there. A lot of these characters, and it kind of goes with my first statement, which was I don't really feel attached to any of these beings. Is also like they could have done a lot more to clearly identify what these demons are. They clearly took inspiration from actual real world sources, but so does Pokemon, and so do a lot of other video games that are fantasy. And I just think they could have put a little bit more care into designing the characters, because they do, some of them feel out of place, some of them feel a little lackluster. And I just think that when you're already playing with a pre-established top-down design like gods, you're just building a game around deities from religions around the world. You have the world is your oyster. Just design them with some cohesion. I don't know. I just, the rest of the anime art style, of like the main human characters and the world you live in is perfect. It's great. I just think each of the little individual like characters, like, oh, you meet a slime and it looks like a stupid slime. It's ugly and gross and gruesome. There's no real design there. It's just a generic slime. It's an RPG. Of course, there's a slime, but then you get this like super cool, super designed angel that comes, and you can fight with it and it shoots lightning, and it's just like, it just sort of feels like there could have been more cohesion with the designs.
Wait till you meet Dark Frost. You know, like like it's coming. You know, like
Mhm.
I get what you're saying. Like it's no, like the character designs are nowhere near Pokemon. I'm not gonna argue that. But I would say wait to see what this game can, you know, as far as like design of some of these creatures. Just wait a little bit.
Okay.
I think you'll be impressed by some of the later things you see.
I mean, already, I'm just, I'll say it to anyone who's listening with their big old ears. I love it. It's a really fun RPG. I'm nitpicking. I'm being nitpicking and biased. But it is a really fun game. And it if RPGs aren't your thing, you probably wouldn't like it. I think
It's a RPG's RPG. Like
it's an RPG. I don't think, yeah, there's a lot of things straight out of this game that I'm like, this is something I remember from Earthbound. Like they took mechanics straight out of Earthbound. Like they are pulling way back into RPG gaming to make this game. It is an RPG. And it's really fun, but only if you like RPGs. Because I think it's too cringy and too complex on the on surface level. It's complex. On underlying, it's pretty simple. But they didn't really simplify it enough for like mass audiences. If you don't like RPGs, you probably wouldn't like this.
Mhm.
But
well said.
I like RPGs. I really like it. It's you know what, I would agree, Alfredo. If I'd played it last year, it'd probably be on my game of the year list, because it is, It is.
Chef's
It
kiss.
is a. It is a pretty perfect RPG. And if it's as long as you're saying it is, I don't even know how they're going to manage to keep pace the further along this game goes. If you think I believe you that they do, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm like 47 hours in, still not done this game.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm
I
like
think I'm like
35.
level
I'm like
70.
35. So you're pretty much you're really far than me. So
Getting there.
yeah, well, hopefully the conversation continues. Ben, Cole, join us in hell.